Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Hi, I'm not Chris Perillo, and neither are all these other fine folks from the Nomies community that are joining us to take over TLDR for at least one more day here in this Friday edition because Chris is snowed in and he has no power, and right now he's huddled around a campfire trying to stay warm. The poor guy. But we're plenty. We've got our juice. We're warm. We're ready to go. Today we're talking about how technology will change your future dining experience. And this is a great article. It was written by Ron over at lockergnome.com. I'm going to +1 it. I'm going to tweet it and share it. And all of that because, man, I love saving money. And that's one of the great advantages to technology. Apps like Perk and Groupon, Living Social, social savings and discounts services are definitely part of that. And also, how do you pay for your food when you're at these restaurants? Well, with the invention of things such as the Surface from Microsoft, which you're not seeing a lot of right now, yes, but it is making it easier for you. Basically, just put your card on a table and you've paid for your drinks. You've paid for your food. You can order right off of a Surface. You don't even have to talk to a waiter. That sounds like a great deal. Probably not for waiters. But I'm going to open this up to the floor. How has technology changed the way you dine, if at all?
Well, I can say I live in a rural area, so a lot of those different applications don't really quite work in my area. So not much over here.
One thing I've noticed is whenever I'm about to go to a restaurant, either my wife's driving or I'm driving, and the one that's not driving, safety first, we'll check their menu before we even get there, so we know exactly what we want when we get into the door. And that's something we couldn't do 10 years ago. We could maybe find a website, maybe, if they had one. But at least now through Yelp and other services like that, we can find out not only is there a certain dish we should or should not eat, but what's on the menu, what's good, what's bad. You can find all that out through technology. I'm a Yelp user. I don't know if any of you guys are. Do any of you contribute to Yelp or any social restaurant review site at all?
Sometimes I contribute to Yelp.
All right. Have you found that your feedback is basically makes a difference at all? Because I know a lot of restaurant managers will actually check Yelp on a daily basis just to see what happened the night before.
I don't know if it's different, but I know I mostly use Yelp just to see if there's something new that's open around here, to see if it's is it good, is it worth going to, what's the food like.
And I also noticed through programs such as Foursquare, I myself am not a big advocate of Foursquare, but you can save money by becoming the mayor or checking it at a certain place. You can also save money by tweeting the restaurant's official account while you're there. Hey, I showed up. Great menu, love it. And they may actually be paying attention enough to respond to you and offer you a discount. There's a restaurant locally owned here in Austin. And I'll just say it, Cabo Bob's, which is a very, very popular restaurant here in Austin. And they're constantly on Twitter checking with people. Hey, I noticed you stayed here. I saw your Foursquare update. Did you like the food? And when you recommend them, sometimes they'll say, hey, come on in. Meals on your lunch is on us. Thank you so much for spreading the word. And that's one way social media, at least, has helped make the dining experience a little bit better, because you're having a two-way conversation with the ownership of that restaurant, which I think can only be a good thing.
Well, I know a lot of restaurants out here as well are doing like almost like an iPhone app thing, where you can check in and check their wait times before you go there, and if you do that, you save some money. You get a percentage off your bill.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
So you see, like, oh, well, this is a 20-minute wait. Well, I'll check in, and then after 20 minutes we show up. We don't have to wait. You can check in right there through your iPhone, which is really nice.
So is that like done on a restaurant by restaurant basis, or is the company that actually does the front ending for that?
I think it's a restaurant by restaurant. I know a couple restaurants out here started doing it, and I've also noticed that the barber shop I go to, the Supercuts, they do it as well. and you could save a couple bucks off your haircut.
That's awesome. That's a great tip.
I say probably the two things that I do the most of all are I use OpenTable if I'm traveling and check to see if they have reservations available because it can save a lot of time. And sometimes they'll have reservations that are set aside for OpenTable specifically. So even if the restaurant says that it has like a 30-minute or 1 hour wait, sometimes there'll be shorter wait times by looking at OpenTable. And then Yelp, because of how much I travel and I don't like eating at the exact same places everywhere I go. I know like when I was traveling, say in the late 90s, I would typically just go to chain restaurants because I had no idea what other restaurants around the area might actually be good. And now I'm definitely using Yelp to look for a lot more interesting and local spots rather than just say going to the Applebee's or the Chili's or whatever because I know where they are.
Right. I know one restaurant that would benefit great from doing that check-in thing, or what you were just discussing, would be Olive Garden. I mean, because they're always packed. It's hard to even get a table there, but when we do, it's awesome.
And also notice that you can actually buy codes for discounts. Like for example, somebody will sell their gift certificate online, and you can usually find a really good deal. For example, hey, a $50 gift certificate for this restaurant. Somebody's selling it for $40. I'm going there anyway. So that's a great way to save money on where you're going.
Jungle. Plastic Jungle is a good place to get those.
Plastic Jungle, awesome suggestion.
.com.
And I did mention it earlier, and we give Chris a hard time about this one because he uses this app all the time, but it's called Pirq, P-I-R-Q. And if you're in the Seattle area, if you're in the Seattle area only right now, that could be an app that's well worth the download. It's a free download, and yeah, you can save a lot of money through that.
So I guess it wouldn't help someone like me from Chicago then, huh?
Not yet. I think they're expanding, but for right now, yeah, it's only in that frozen area at this point in time. But anyway, I guess that'll wrap it up for this video. If you want to, for example, take part in more hangouts with Chris whenever he gets thawed out, as well as the rest of the Locker Gnome community, take a moment to go to gnomies.com and sign up. We have monthly subscriptions, quarterly, yearly, and believe me, it's well worth it. You get discounts, exclusive giveaways. These hangouts and a chat that is just for people in the community with like interest, and that chat is probably one of the biggest advantages to being in the Gnomies community. So for Locker Gnome, see you later.